Hi, I'm Tomi Mester from Data36.com, and in this video I will share 18 things that I learned about data science on the job. I wish someone would have told me about these when I was an aspiring data scientist, but there are things that you have to experience in the front line of data science by working on real projects. Regardless, I hope that this will be useful for aspiring and junior data scientists. My aim is to help you to see a more comprehensive picture of what data science is, beyond, of course, learning Python, SQL, statistics, and a few fancy analytics and machine learning methods. So here we go: data science best practices, common mistakes, and basic mindset questions that I've collected in the last 9 years. Number 1, the ultimate goal of a data science project is the impact it creates. It doesn't matter which machine learning model you use, and it doesn't matter how efficient your code is or how sophisticated your mathematical formula becomes, your data project will fail if it doesn't create impact. We can talk about business impact, social impact, even cultural impact, but in one way or another, your data science project has to foster change if you want to make it useful. So, before starting any of your data projects, ask these: what will be different when this project will be done, and what impact will it create? If the answer is nothing, or I don't know, then probably it's a data science project no one needs. At the end of the day, your data science project is worth as much as the impact it creates. Number 2. The output of a data science project is usually a better decision. Impact is important, but it's usually a long-term effect of your project. The short-term effect is the better decision it enhances. And that's why in data science, setting a hypothesis is so important. If someone asks you to create an analysis around a specific question like, what's the new versus returning user ratio in my app? Always ask them to come up with a proper hypothesis first. Ask back something like this: what will you do if it turns out it's below 20%? And what will you do if it's above 20%? If they have answers, great. If they don't, point out that your analysis will make sense only if they know what actions they will take once they get their answers. This was just the simplest example, of course. Number 3. Coding is a tool. To build a house, you have to know how to use a hammer. And to do data science, you have to know how to code. But when your house is built, no one will care about the hammer, right? They will care about the house. Similarly, in data science, your code doesn't have to be a work of art. What you build with it should be. This is probably the most important misconception that I see from aspiring and junior data scientists. They never focus on the results. They focus only on the process. But in real-life projects, both are important. So try to find the perfect balance, and remember, coding is just a tool. Number 4. Skills are more important than hard knowledge. Let me give you an example. When it comes to coding, for instance, it's more important to understand how to talk to a computer than knowing every tiny detail of Python syntax. Using data languages like Python or SQL or R is an essential part of the day-to-day job, of course, but they can and will change over time. So, for instance, to become the best Python programmer in the long term, you rather have to understand the logic of Python than memorizing all the tiny syntax nuances, right? That's why I say that in data science, skills are more important than hard knowledge. Python was just an example, of course. This principle applies to statistics, business, and all other aspects of data science as well. Number 5. The simpler, the better. Junior and aspiring data scientists tend to overcomplicate things by using fancy statistical models and algorithms, but in most projects, simpler models outperforms complex ones. I don't know why that is, but after doing data science for years, it just feels more natural to go with simpler solutions. Don't believe me? Well, I tell you, I didn't believe my mentor either. I guess it takes some time to understand it, but in data science, simpler is usually better. Number 6. Every data science project should be started with data discovery. Data is a jungle. It's wild and raw, and you go there to find hidden treasures, right? And it's always easier if you create a map first. Data discovery helps do that. How it works? Well, first, simply just browse your raw data, scroll through rows and columns in your data tables, try to understand the data structure, what's where and why. Then, do basic segmentations, create distribution charts, plot the general trends that your data shows. And I know this data discovery part can take hours or days, and it will seem pointless first. But it's an investment that pays off later in the project. The more deeply you understand your dataset, the more clearly you will see the potential hidden relationships in it. Number 7. Choosing the right project is more important than choosing the right model. In poker, they say that if you want to win, choosing the right table to sit at may be more important than perfectly playing your hand. In some aspects, data science is similar. Most data science projects fail way before writing the first line of the code. And this goes back to my very first point: impact. You should always work on the data project that has the greatest potential impact. Now, note the word potential. Of course, you won't always know which project will be the best to start with, but you can almost always tell the difference between potentially good or bad data science project ideas. Just say no to the bad data science project, which leads us to the next point. Number 8, saying no is key. As I said, say no to bad data project ideas. In my experience, the bad data science project ideas usually don't come from the data scientists themselves. It's quite often an external source, like your non-data scientist colleague is curious about something, or you have seen a great, quote-unquote, inspiring case study at a conference, or you want to try out that new machine learning model you have just learned about in your latest online course. Now, whatever external influence tries to push you to do data science projects that are probably useless in the long term, remember that you don't do projects to satisfy your professional curiosity. That's what your data science hobby projects are for. So say no to potentially bad data science project ideas. Also remember that most non-data scientist colleagues, even your boss or manager, don't know which data science projects are important and which aren't. They will ask what they are personally interested in, but if you know that answering that question is a waste of your time, it's your responsibility to turn them down. I know, saying no, especially to your manager, seems hard. Well, believe me, with a little bit of practicing, you will master this skill in no time. Point is, dare to say no and don't waste your time and energy by working on bad data science projects. Okay, this became long, so let me just split it in 2 parts. These were the first 8 points. In the second part of this video, I will show you the rest 10 of the 18 things you will learn about data science only on the job, so stay with me. And if you like this video, please leave a like or a comment. And if you want to learn more about data science and about how to become a data scientist, take my 50-minute video course, How to Become a Data Scientist. It's free and linked in the description. Also check out my 6-week online course, the Junior Data Scientist First Month video course, which is a super practical, hands-on, and fun way to learn data science, and more particularly, what data science looks like in real life. It's a 6-week simulation of being a junior data scientist at a true-to-life startup. So the course is called the Junior Data Scientist First Month, and I linked that in the description as well. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm Tomi Mester from data36.com. See you in the next video.